Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 6th of December. Looking at the euro dollar first, then, well, yesterday we put this bullish engulfing candle in on the dailies, which basically covered the last few weeks of price action. Where from now, or where to now, should I say? Well, we've got the potential running back towards the monthly pivot, that daily 34 stroke 4 hourly 200, which may be a bit of a draw. There is, of course, some potential downside targets in terms of the daily pivots below us. Now, we've run through everything else here, and we're, as I say, we're close to the monthly pivot. It's really a question of whether the daily pivot could be hit. Now, I think it's a bit of an outside chance of that being hit, basically, as it's such a distance away. However, there is a chance. Now, I'd only be looking at it if price breaks the 60-20 So it's in that case, I'd be looking for that daily pivot, maybe the 60-50. However, a break and a continuation this morning may see us, as I say, running up towards the monthly pivot, maybe beyond into the daily 34, etc. Cable's taken a bit of the following the lead of the euro move yesterday. It's had some funny sort of inside-ish days. Yesterday was pretty much an inside day, apart from a small blip, and it's sort of forming this rising wedge. Now we may see a correction come out of that at some point back to the 34. We've got the weekly pivot untouched below. Now it's normally in the first couple of days that we see the highest probability of this being hit, maybe up to Wednesday, but at the moment it's maybe one of those weeks we've hit it quite a lot lately. It may just be ignored. For now, it's certainly pushing up in a steady-ish route through this Asian session, so a bit wary. Daily pivots below us, and excuse me, I would like to see that out the way, but really need to see this trend line broken. Maybe the 21's broken to confirm a move down to that sort of level. To the upside, well, the R1's not that far away now. It could be pushing on for that. Otherwise, we need to really pull back a little bit. In fact, we need to pull back a lot to see where the next sort of levels of resistance might come, where there's daily 100 sitting above us. But then, really, we're pushing up towards these prior lows may provide us some resistance. So it's got an opportunity. Those lows, maybe the R2 monthly R2. So we've got some potential for continuation to the upside without too much in the way. Dollar yen. Okay, so I'm still waiting here to see if we get a break of this daily 8 from is my preference, and then I'll be targeting the monthly pivot. Certainly the daily 21, as I say, maybe the monthly pivot, so we can push a bit more from it. At the moment, well, it's diverged on the daily, so it's looking there's a tad of a touch of weakness there, and well, if anything, we've seen a sort of a wedge forming on the 4 hours here. As I say, my preference now is if it can break that daily 8. I would rather like to see be on the downside there and play it down to the monthly pivots. Okay, little else there at the moment on the yen. Upside potential is there, of course. If it breaks this morning's highs, for example, well, there's a trend line running from the high there to the high, which could see us running up towards yesterday's high. So if it does catch a bit of a rally, there's a possibility there, but I quite like the downside potential. Aussie dollar, well, it's pretty much ignored its the news last night. There's no change in terms of interest rates, and price action has been pretty minimal compared to what we normally see around the Reserve Bank of Australia's bank rate statement. But seeing it quite consolidated, hit the monthly pivot now, that's out of the way, it's box ticked. I think in general the fundamentals are neutral-ish, start to neutralize some bright points in there, but not a lot. So the euro is pretty much reflecting that. At the moment, if it breaks this weekly pivot, which is this black and green dotted line here, it breaks down, or breaks through the 200 maybe, it could be heading further south towards its daily R1, maybe even yesterday's lows there. Any sort of rallies back above the daily pivot could see the monthly pivot approached again. Not overly sure one way or the other way it's moving though, of course. Okay, with the price of oil pushing up, let's just flick onto oil for a second. It's been pushing up, sitting around that $52 barrel. The Canadian dollar's benefiting this time, and also with a slight weakening in the US dollar, and we're seeing this move down. It air kissed a weekly pivot yesterday. It may be good enough, and at the moment it looks like we're heading south again. From a 4-hourly perspective, well, the pivot came out pretty much in line with yesterday's pivot. It's the daily pivot hasn't quite caught that this morning, but it's looks like it's off to the races already, heading south there. Nothing I could do too much about. Maybe sell into any retracements back to the S1 or beyond. Look at the bigger picture. The next sort of level of support of the bigger picture is that 100 MA, which it may be wanting to head off for at some point, which is not a long way away relatively. Okay, around about 50 pips. Right, that's pretty much it. There's not a great deal of data out today. We have got the European Council of Financial Ministers meetings today, so that may create some volatility through speak that comes from those members, and the post-meeting statement if there is one. So that's certainly a possibility today. As a side of that, we've got rather little to. I mean, we've got trade balance in Canada, the Canadian trade balance. There's very little data that really is likely to move the market too much today in terms of news. So that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.